At the end of the day, everyone wants that their life should be fruitful. Today I'm going to share with you 4 important keys. These are very important keys for anyone to have a fruitful life. Now let me come from the perspective of COVID. We have all passed from the COVID-19 pandemic and still there, yet we have overcome the toughest phase of it. In those 2 years, our body, our mind has become rusty. We crave when again the holidays will begin. Look at the children in the school. After the COVID, they joined the school and immediately they were thinking when the summer vacation would come. That is how rusty we have become. The thing that I'm going to share today should wake you up and should grease your rusty machines and should help you that your life be fruitful. Proverbs chapter 6 verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Go to the ants, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. There is a command given to especially the sluggard, those who are lazy and are not living the potential God has given them to be. It says to consider the ways of the ants. The ants, these are small creatures. If you read from Proverbs 30:25, the ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. Something is there with the strength of the ants. Ants are very weak creature, very small. If you put them on your palm and blow from your mouth, it will fly away. Okay, you can trample them under your feet. Yet God wants us to learn from those tiny, weak ants. We, on the other hand, may not be the greatest or the strongest or the most resourceful person on this earth. Yet, as the ants can accomplish their task, we can also make our life fruitful. There are 4 things that I want to share with you. Firstly, that the ants teach us that they have a vision. They have a vision that rain is going to come, the monsoon is going to set. Before that, I have a profitable time, a time which is favorable to me. That's the summer. And in this summer, I'm going to collect as much food as possible so that I can go through the monsoon. You know that the ants do not go out in the monsoon, because if they go out, they'll be drained and they would die. They would lose their life. Think about us. When is the most favorable time for us? It's the youth. So this is the message for the youth, those who are in their teens, those who are in their school, high school, college, those who have started their career, and those who are still in their mid-career. You can still consider that you have the strength in you. First thing we can learn is that everyone should have a vision. They should have a personal vision. They should have a family vision together, and they should also have a church vision. Because what vision does is it propels us to dream something and achieve it. As a Christ follower, my vision could be that my family should be a home where the gospel should be fed, or nobody should come out of my home discouraged. I vision my family that way. That's one example. I picture out that my family should be such. Bible says that without vision, in some version it is knowledge, in some version it is vision. In the book of Hosea, God writes that without vision, my people perish. The second most important thing about ants is that they have a plan to achieve the vision. You see, they plan that they should do all the work in the summer. They do not do it just like that. They have a plan. In order to achieve a vision, we must have a plan. We cannot just accomplish just like that. We have to break down the vision into pieces and see how can we go from piece to piece. You cannot cover a mountain at once. When you may remember that in your life when there was a troublesome time, it felt like a mountain, but you went day by day, each day taking one small step, and you achieved and overcome that challenge, right? A vision can be accomplished by planning it properly. You can have a short-term goal, you can have a long-term goal. Together, the by fulfilling the short-term goals, you eventually fulfill the long-term goal, right? So how does it look for a Christ follower? As I said, my vision for my family is that nobody should go out discouraged from my home. I plan out that I prepare a room for any guest who would come, or we would plan that in 1 week, this is the day that we should be calling somebody, inviting them at our home, or we plan out that should there be food, what kind of food there should be, and how do we spend that time? Should it be random, or it should not be random? We plan it out that we must have prayer, we must connect with them personally and exhort them. Thirdly, when you have a plan, you automatically start working. The ants, they do laborious work. As you saw in the video, they go line by line and they take food, they transfer it, right? They are laborious. Christ follower cannot be a lazy person. He cannot be a sluggard. God hates them. He said, "You sluggard, go to the ants and see. Learn from the ants. Consider her ways." Paul says, "I press on towards the goal" in the book of Philippians. He goes on to say that I make all efforts to achieve the resurrection, to know the resurrection of life that Christ offers. Can you see that? Straining, pressing on. These need labor, hard labor. As Christ follower, you cannot be sitting on your couch and playing games and wasting your life. What does a sluggard want? He wants food, he wants shelter, and he wants a mobile. That's it. But you cannot waste your life. We have a very short time to live. 70 years, as the psalmist says, 70. That's the average lifetime. And we only are resourceful when we are at our 20s, or just before that, also from our teens to around 45. After that, things starts to decline. The fourth and the last thing I want to say is that the ants are disciplined creature. You see that they move in a line, they move together. If somebody is coming on the opposite side, they would again align and follow the leader. They are a disciplined creature. Without discipline, you cannot achieve a vision. You cannot have a fruitful life. So, as I said again, in my family, I envision that my family should be a home of encouragement, and gospels should be shared. So I would plan in which day I should do of the week we should call somebody, or whom to call. Then we would labor for that. We would prepare the house, clean it, make it fresh, so that the guest may feel acceptable, and we would provide them good hospitality. We would labor for that. It's not easy. And fourthly, it's a discipline that we do it again and again. Even if our body says, no, we are very weak, we get up and do it because it is for Christ's sake, right? So I gave you a few key points. There may be many other things that we can learn from the ants. Yet, if you follow these 4 things, God promises that you will receive wisdom and your life would be fruitful. Then when you look back, when you have lost your strength, and you look back, the people who have received encouragement from you, who have been exhorted from you, and whose life are fruitful, you would glorify God, and you would be happy that God has used you mightily for His kingdom, that you have been a useful tool, a vessel unto His honor. I leave you with this thought. God bless you. Thank you for hearing attentively. May these things ring in your mind. 4 things. Firstly, that we should have a vision. To achieve the vision, you should have a plan. And if you have a plan, do not nudge it, but labor. And fourthly, have discipline. Even if you don't feel like, but you still follow the discipline. And at the end of the day, God will bless you abundantly. Thank you for hearing.